Okay, let's now move to chapter 5, which is activity based costing. We're done with three chapters out of the seven which I wanted to do, and I also did intro chapter to some extent. So, technically, four chapters are done. We are moving to fifth chapter out of the discussion we wanted to have. Extremely small chapter may take 1.5 to 2 hours, ideally, shouldn't take more than that, but extremely important from an exam point of view. Because if you look at the breakup of marks, ICI has tested this chapter in at par with what is there in overheads or even more than overheads. Every attempt, you will see a 10-mark question being there from this chapter. Every attempt, it's a it's always a 10-mark question which keeps coming from this chapter, and relatively simpler chapter. Very limited concepts are there. One format of analysis is there. Two, three variants of questions are there, and that is what is all about this chapter. One basic question we will do, one advanced question we will do, one reverse working question we will do, and we are done with the chapter. Now, let's understand what this chapter is all about. Now, we are not discussing overage chapter as part of the revision, but if what you would have done in overage chapter is at an organization level, an organization incurs certain expenses. The expenses are of two category. One is your direct expenses and indirect expenses. Direct expenses, one which is directly and economically identified with the unit of production. So every unit of production, how much is the direct material cost? Easy to know. How much is the direct labor cost? Easy to know. How much is the direct expense? Easy to know. But overheads, what are the overheads? You have your rent, salary, commission, all this. How do I determine at a per unit level? Because it is not straightforward directly saying that per unit is so much. So when it is not available straightforward, computation can become a challenge. That how much is the material cost per unit, how much is the labor cost, sorry, how much is the overhead cost, rent cost, commission cost. So there in that chapter you would have learned that there is a primary overhead distribution where you classify the overheads to various departments. Then you do a secondary overhead distribution. What is secondary overhead is? You have your production department, service department. From the service you shift to production. Finally you do an OAR and recover it from the end customer. The OAR used to be a single overhead absorption rate. What is single overhead absorption rate is? We calculate only one overhead absorption rate, which is what our traditional method of costing is, which is little bit not okay because accuracy is lesser. So traditional method does this: budgeted overheads, calculate the overheads of the company. It could be department wise, and if you don't have multiple department, all overheads are clubbed together. There will be a suitable base. The base can be machine hours or labor hours or number of units, mostly machine hour, labor hours. Divide by the budgeted suitable base, you will get overhead absorption rate. You will get a overhead absorption rate. What is overhead absorption rate is? How much you want to recover. We did one question where we were doing that Acon and Ben problem where it was 120 per machine hour. That 120 per machine hour is called 120 per man hour. That 120 per man hour is called OAR. 120 rupees per labor hour. 120 rupees per labor hour. So similarly here you will have to calculate the OAR. Assume I am done with the OAR computation. Material cost directly known, labor cost directly known. OAR 120 per hour, multiply with the number of hours. OAR 120 per unit, multiply with the number of units. OAR 120 per machine hour, multiply with number of machine hour. OAR 120 per labor hour, multiply with labor hour. So you multiply with whatever is that suitable base. The base can be machine hours, the base can be labor hours, the base can be raw material use, the base can be units produced. Whatever is the base, multiply that, and you get the cost per unit. Or all of this can be total. Total material cost, total labor cost. Add up, you get total cost, divide by number of units, cost per unit. Now ABC says, no, I don't like all this method. You are doing this OAR under traditional, cost per unit under traditional. Only one OAR, only one OAR. Now they are saying this budgeted overage is 20 lakh rupees. You bifurcate the 20 lakh rupee into some of these activities. It could be any activity. Okay, I'm just giving some names. Machining can be an activity, setting up can be an activity, store receiving can be an activity, inspection can be an activity, material handling can be an activity, assembling can be an activity, order processing, material procurement, maintenance, quality control, storage cost, electricity cost. You find out various activities of the company. Bharadwaj Institute may say our activities are handling student enquiries, taking classes, evaluating test papers, doing marketing, providing training to employees. These are the 5 activities we have. So And for each of the activity, you will have to find out a driver. What is a driver is what is the factor which influences the cost. For machining activity, the driver logical is machine hours. For setting up is every time you do start manufacturing, you need to, for example, I need to start the laptop, that may take some time. So setting up is the start for which we have number of production run. These are some of the driver. It can be anything. Store receiving requisition raised. Inspection, number of production run, it can be inspection hours also depending on the data in the question. So for every activity, so here you have total overhead cost, find out 10 activities of the company, 20 activities of the company, 40 activities of the company. In our problem solving, 4 or 5 activities, you find out the 4 or 5 activity, and for every activity find out a driver. After you find out the driver, we are going to calculate like OAR, overhead absorption rate. We calculate CDR, cost driver rate. Like we have overhead absorption rate, we calculate cost driver rate. Overhead absorption rate, we compute cost driver rate, CDR. So the step says that you find out the activity. Here I'll link it with this. Okay, activity is particulars. Total cost is budgeted overhead. Total cost is budgeted overhead. There it is row wise, here it is column wise. Activity particulars, total cost budgeted overheads. Suitable base CD name, budgeted suitable base CD quantity, OAR CDR. The only difference is there is only one calculation. You just need to do once. Traditional method. ABC you may have to do 5-6 activities. ABC you may have to do 5-6 activities. So under the traditional method, all of the cost is clubbed together. All the costs are clubbed together. Under ABC method, every activity separately you will have to write. Every activity separately. So this total of the total cost will match the budgeted overheads. Total of the total cost will match budgeted overhead. Clear? Any doubts on this? So here you have to find out the various activities. Could be 5 activities, 10 activities, 15 activities, 20 activity. Mostly 4, 5 we will see in question. Once you find out the activity, write the total cost of that activity. The total of the total cost will be budgeted overhead. So some question you will have budgeted overhead. From there you will get the total cost. Some question you will have the total cost, you will copy that as budgeted overhead. Whatever way, the data depending on the question, you get this. And for every activity, you will have to find out a driver. Whatever is the driver, what is the quantity of the driver? What is quantity? If you say inspection, how many inspection hours? If you say number of setup, how many setups? If you say production run, how many production run? Total cost divided by CD quantity, CD rate. Here budgeted overheads by budgeted suitable basis, OAR. Is there any difference between OAR and CDR? Answer is no. Both are same. Can I call this as OAR? Go ahead and call. Doesn't really matter. It is the same thing. Just that in ABC, we use the word CD rate and there we use the word OAR. It is more of a practice. That's all. There's nothing like there is any technical difference. I don't see. CDR or OAR is technically same. OAR mostly single. CDR 5-6 will be there. For every CDR, you get the CDQ of that product. What is CDQ of the product? You said inspection hours is the CDQ. Inspection hours is the CDQ. How many inspection hours for product A into the CDR? How many inspection hours for product B into the CDR? Take the individual product wise CDQ, multiply with CDR. Individual product wise labor hours, multiply with the OAR. Individual product wise labor hours, multiply with the OAR. Individual product wise machine hours, multiply with the OAR. Individual product wise raw material quantity, multiply with the OAR. Whichever is the OAR, whichever is the base. Individual product wise write it, multiply with OAR. Individual product wise write the CDQ. CDQ is inspection, production runs, number of purchase orders, number of inspections, number of maintenance hours. Whatever is the driver, write them individually. And then do a multiplication. Multiplication with what? Multiplication with CD rate. Once you are done, you will get the overhead cost. Step 5 is copy paste of step 2. Step 5 is copy paste of step 2. Overheads alone will change. Step 5 is copy paste of step 2. Material cost same number. Labor cost same number. Overhead, what is the change? Overhead here will come from working note 4. Overhead here will come from working note 4. 4. This is what this chapter is all about. That's all. Chapter is over. 10 minutes I've done. If you understand how ABC is to be done, chapter is over. I need not solve any question, but I'll solve question to give you some comfort. But otherwise, this is what the chapter is all about. Other chapter and all concept discussion took me a lot of time. Here I don't have anything to discuss. First, I'll be doing 3 problems. Then I'll be doing all the MCQs. We are done with the chapter. 3 problems and all MCQ, and we are kind of done. I don't even expect you to do anything in this chapter, and keeps coming in exam. It keeps coming for 10 marks in exam. This chapter is, to me, this is like that category A, high in marks, very low in efforts. Low in efforts. The efforts which I'm going to take for this chapter as compared to the other chapters, very, very minimal. I can ideally complete it in even 30 minutes with solving question also. If you are aware of doing it fastly, we can do it also, but okay, I don't want to rush through. So we will do now problems. This is the concept. 5 steps you have to be aware. OAR under traditional method, cost per unit under traditional method, cost driver rate under ABC, overhead under ABC, and cost per unit under ABC. This is what method is all about. Clear? Done? Can we start now? Let's get to page 103. Question number 1, illustration 1 of your study mat. I'm giving you time to go through the question. Take your time. It will take some time. So take some 3-4 minutes. Go through the question and then we start doing it. Okay. I will now take you through the question. ABC Limited is a multi-product company. 3 products A, B, and C. Budgeted cost and production for the year ended is given below. 3 products. Production quantity is given. Material cost is given. Labor minutes have been given. Budgeted direct labor rate is 10 per hour. Labor is 10 per hour. And material cost is 2 per kg. Production overhead is budgeted at 99,450. So budgeted overheads is 99,450 and absorb to the product using direct labor hour rate. Direct labor hour rate, suitable basis, direct labor hours. This is traditional method. At direct labor. Now they want to shift to ABC method. In ABC, 3 main activities are there: material handling, storage, and electricity. These are the 3 activity. And for the 3 activity, they have given the driver: weight of material handled, number of batches of material, number of machine operations. And they have given data on the cost driver. Prepare a statement showing unit cost and total cost using absorption costing, then using activity based costing, and what are the reasons for the different cost under the 2 approaches. Clear? Any doubts on this? Let's start. Working note 1. You will need the question. I'll not be able to keep shuffling between the question and this. Working note 1, computation of OAR under traditional method. It's a format driven chapter under traditional method. Particulars amount, particulars amount, budgeted overheads, suitable base, budgeted suitable base, OAR, A by B. Budgeted overheads, suitable base, budgeted suitable base, OAR. Straightforward, simple question. Budgeted overheads, read the question and tell me how much is the budgeted overheads. 99,450. 99,450. Live online guys, you can type it. 99,450. Suitable base under the traditional method. Under the traditional method, our basis of absorbing overheads is what? Absorb to products using the direct labor hour rate. Absorb to the products using direct labor hour rate. So suitable basis DLH. Direct labor hours. Suitable basis DLH. Now what is budgeted suitable basis? 4,000 units into 30 minutes, 3,000 units into 45 minutes, and 1,600 units into 60 minutes, whole divided by 60 to convert into hours. Finally, we'll divide by 60. 4,000 units, each unit 30 minutes. 30 minutes per unit. Now, budgeted suitable base in bracket. 4,000 into 30 plus 6,000 into 45, 3,000 into 60 whole divided by 60 into 30 into 45 into 60. 9,000. Just maybe somebody confirm, is it 9,500? Are you getting? No, somebody has given me a different answer. 5850. Can you check the calculation? Because I don't think it will go to that high. Another answer student has said 9,500. Divided by what you did? Have I written anything wrong? Okay, okay. My mistake. My mistake. Sorry, sorry. This is 3,000 and this is 1,600. Sorry. Units I wrote wrong. 4,000 into 30, 3,000 into 45,000. Sorry, sorry. 5850. 4,000 into 30, 3,000 into 45, 1,600 into 60. Divide A by B, 99,450 by 5850. 17 per DLH. 17 per direct labor hour. 17 per direct labor hour. This is the OAR under traditional method. Under traditional, 17 rupees per direct labor hour. Any doubts on this? Working note 2. Cost per unit under traditional method. Cost per unit under traditional method. Particulars on 3 products. Cost per unit under traditional method. Product A, B and C. Under traditional method. Direct material, direct labor, overhead cost. Direct material, direct labor and overhead cost. Under traditional method. Under traditional method, direct material, direct labor and overhead cost. Material cost, labor cost and overhead cost. Material cost 4 kg, 6 kg per unit. Per unit 4 kg, 6 kg and 3 kg. And each kg is how much? The rate for each kg is how much? 2 per kg. 2 per kg. So 4 into 2, 8 rupees. 6 into 2, 12 rupees. And 3 into 2, 3 into 2, 6 rupees. 8, 12 and 6. 8, 12 and 6. Clear? Coming to labor cost. Labor cost is 30 minutes, 45 minutes and 60 minutes. 1 unit is that much. And they have said labor cost is 10 per hour. So labor cost 10 into 30 by 60. 30 by 60. 30 minutes I convert into hours. 10 into 30 by 60. 10 into 45 by 60. 10 into 60 by 60. 30 minutes, 45 minutes and 60 minutes. 5, 7.5. Any doubts on this? This is on the labor cost. Overhead cost is simple. Same thing, just that it is not 10. We have calculated it will be 17. 17 per direct labor hour. 17 against 17 and 17. It will be 17 rupees. We calculated this rate. 17 rupees it will be. It is going to be 17 rupees. 17 into 30 by 60. 17 into 45 by 60. 17 into 60 by 60. All put together cost per unit. Everything we have done per unit. I'm writing this number of units. This question it is not needed, but some question they'll ask total cost. Some question we will do total cost divided by number of units and get cost per unit. Either ways we can solve it. Depends on the data in the question. Tell me the cost per unit. Add up everything. cost per unit. You will have to do first question fully, you only have to do. Second question I'll take you through. Well, some parts we will do, but first question fully yours. I've got the numbers in live online: 21.5, 32.25, 33. It is purely format driven. My objective is every chapter we'll try to do in single format or 2 3 formats, and we are done. Cost sheet standard format. When we did EOQ, we had a standard format. PSL, there is a standard format. So try to follow formats, you'll be able to get to the answer. Number of units is 4,000, 3,000, 6,000. 4,000, 3,000, 6,000. Do the multiplication. 21.5 into 4,000 is 86,000. 32.25 into 3,000, 96,750. This is traditional method. Traditional method is done. Traditional method is done. 1,98,000 for, sorry, again 1,600. Sorry. 1,600. Clear? Any doubts on this? Done. This is traditional method of accounting. Now we'll have to shift to ABC. Working note 3. Cost driver rate under ABC. 5 columns. Activity, whatever is particulars is activity, row wise, column wise, 5 columns. Activity, total cost, cost driver name, cost driver quantity, cost driver rate. Activity, total cost driver name, cost driver quantity, cost driver rate. I don't want you to write anything else, just the format. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, CD rate. You can leave some 5 lines gap. Working note 4. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. We do it together. Together saves some time. Some problem together is not needed, but this question together can be done. 3 and 4 will be doing together. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. This needs one activity, one particulars column, and if you have one product, 2 columns for every product. So we have 3 products here: A, B, and C. Particulars and 6 more columns. Particulars and 6 more. If you have 2 products, particulars and 4 more columns. If you have 4 products, particulars and 8 more columns. Every product 2 columns. So totally open 7 columns. 7 columns. Particulars, product A with 2 subcolumns. CDQ amount. Every product 2 subcolumns. Product A, then product B, then product C. Product A, CDQ amount. Product B, CDQ amount. Product C, CDQ amount. We do this together. Okay, now we will go to step 3. What are the 3 activities in the question? Tell me please. Material handling, right? In the activity, right? Material handling. What is the cost of material handling? 2,900. What is the driver for material handling? Weight of material handled. Write the second one. Storage cost 31,200. Number of batches. Electricity 39,150. Number of machine operations. Number of machine operations. Clear? It's straight away given in the questions. There will be problems where this could be little tricky also. In this question, straight away given. Clear? Copy paste these three activities in the next column. Next working note. Material handling, storage, electricity. Material handling, storage, and electricity. Copy paste. Material handling, storage, and electricity. Copy paste. Clear? Material handling, storage, and electricity. Now, material handling, weight of material handled. Now, for weight of material handled, product we have produced 4,000 units, and each product needs 4 kg of raw material. Each product needs 4 kg of raw material, assuming raw material weight is equal to finished product weight. Assuming raw material weight is finished product weight, because they have not separately given any other weight. Weight of material handled. Weight of material handled. So for product A, we have handled material of 4,000 units into 4 kg. 4,000 units into 4 kg. Material A 4,000 units into 4 kg. Material B 3,000 units into 6 kg. Material C 1,600 units into 3 kg. In this, right, in the CDQ column, product A is 4,000 into 4. You need not write this breakup and all. I am just writing here. 4,000 units into 4, 16,000. 16,000. Product B 3,000 into 6 kg. 18,000. 3,000 into 6, 18,000. This approach will ensure we don't make any mistake. Product C 1,600 into 3. Clear? Tell me the total of the 3. Total of the 3. That is CDQ for the company. 38,800 in the earlier working note. Total of the 3. 38,800. 3 products total is the CDQ for the company. Working note 3 is for the company. Working note 4 is for individual product. Now CDR is 29,100 by 38,800. If you get in decimal, give me 4 decimal. 29,100 divided by 38,800. Point, leave the number as it is in the calculator. Okay, after division, leave the number as it is in the calculator. 0.75. Now come here. 0.75. Leave the number as it is in the calculator. Do into 16,000 equal to 16,000 equal to, right, 12,000. Don't press any other digit. Okay, don't press any other digit. 12,000. Then 18,000 equal to 18,000 equal to, right, 13,500. The calculator would have given 13. Don't press any other digit in between. Again, I'm repeating, 0.75 you would have got. So I'll start from the beginning. You would have got 0.75 into 16,000 equal to, don't press any other number, right, 12,000. 18,000 equal to 13,500. 4,800 equal to 3,600. Clear? Now what we have done is the 29,100 we have bifurcated to the 3 products. The 29,100 we have bifurcated to product A, product B, and product C. This is what the step is all about. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? Clear? Next, storage cost is on the basis of what? Number of batches, and good part is number of batches is given directly. Some question will give batch size. What is batch size? This, if they say batch size is 20, then number of batches is 4,000 by 20. 4,000 divided by 20 will give you number of batches. If they give you batch size, here they have directly given batches of material. 10, 5, 15. This is for complete production. Complete production means for all units put together. No multiplication with number of units. No multiplication with, whereas number of machine operation per unit, they have given it for per unit. So write 10, 5, 15. Storage cost, number of batches, 10, 5, 15. 10, 5, 15. 10, 5, 15. Put a total. Write it here. Put a total. 30 divide. Divide and leave the number as it is in the calculator. Divide and leave the number as it is in the calculator. 31 200 by 30. Leave the number as it is in the calculator. What is the number? 1040. Now do into 10 equal to 5 equal to 15 equal to 1040. I'll repeat again. 10 plus 5 plus 15 is 30. Take it to working note 3. Divide 1040. Leave the number in the calculator. After you get 1040, do into 10 equal to 10 400. I equal to 5200. 15 equal to 15600. That's all. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? Fairly straightforward workings. Any doubts in this? Can we proceed? Next is number of machine operate. This should have been the word machine operations. That's a typing error. Machine operations 6, 3 and 2. 6, 3 and 2. This is per unit. Per unit, because for per unit this is the machine operation. So how, what will you do? Like we multiplied the raw material weight, we have to multiply the machine operations. Machine operation. Every unit 6 operations, 3 operations, 2 operations. So go up now, right here, 4000 into 6. 4000 into 6 operations, 3000 into 3 operations, and 1600 into 2 operation. Tell me the total of all of this. 24, 9 and 3, 2. How much? 36. Please divide. 4 decimal will keep it. 1.0815. 0815. 1.0815. Clear? Now delete the number in the calculator. Do 1.0815. Type 1.0815. Because in the calculator you will have a lot of decimal. 1.0815 into 24,000 equal to 9,000 equal to 3,200 equal to. Any doubts on this? Step 3 and step 4 together is always preferable to avoid mistakes. But some questions step 3, step 4 together cannot be done. That I'll explain later. Any doubts on this? Can you proceed? Any doubts on this? Done? Put a total. Total overhead cost, number of units, and overhead cost per unit. Put a total, divide by number of units, get overhead cost per unit. 12,000 plus 10 400 plus 25 956. 48 356. Same way next to total. 13 500 5200 9734. 3600 15600 3461. Clear? Can you tell me the total of these three values which you have written? Total of total overhead cost. Total of total overhead cost. Three numbers which you have written. It should have been 99,450. 1 rupees rounding off difference. What is 99,450? Is this number. Budgeted overhead. Budgeted overhead. That 99,450 we have bifurcated to the three products using three different activities. Using three different activities. Traditional method, only one. Just divide by labor hours and do it. Here we are doing it more elaborate and ensure accuracy is better. Accuracy is better. Any doubts on this? Right, number of units. 4,000, 3,000, 1,600. A 4 decimal answer. 12.089, 9.478, 14.1631. Clear? 4 steps are done. Fifth step, we have to copy paste. Copy paste this. Please copy paste this. Copy paste. Working note 5. Cost per unit under ABC. Cost per unit under ABC. Working note 5. Cost per unit under ABC. Please write the format again, and material labor will be same. Cost per unit under ABC. First question in depth we are doing it. Next question onwards, I know where to focus on. Cost per unit under ABC. Once this is done, I'll explain this one more time. You should be very clear on the base, and thereafter I'll make certain changes here and there. That is okay, but base should be very clear. Cost per unit under ABC. Copy paste direct material, direct labor, overhead in bracket working note 4 and copy paste the number. Working note 4, 12.089, 9.478, 14.1631. Cost per unit obviously will change, multiplies with number of units and total cost. Cost per unit will undergo a change now. Earlier, very simple method, just 17 per labor hour. We are making it more accurate now. ABC is an accurate method of costing. This will ensure our cost is more accurate as compared to the earlier method. Earlier method accuracy is not there, but this method is more time consuming and complicated. So here now multiply with the first, get the cost per unit, add 25.089. Please add the numbers. First question, let's do it fully. 28.978 and 30.1631. Post multiplication, you can round off the values. This question area is little time consuming. In exam also it may take you, a 10-mark question can take you 25 minutes type. If you are faster, okay, otherwise it can take you even 30 minutes also. But short marks, 100% you will get marks from this question. That is the beauty about this area. Any doubts on this? Clear? So I'll repeat now what we did. First we will do traditional method, where overhead cost mostly will be there in the question. Divide by the suitable base which will be given in the question, and you will get the OAR. Then you do material cost, labor cost, overhead cost is whatever is your OAR into machine hour, labor hour, number of units, whatever is the basis. Then you do ABC, find out the various activity, write the activity, total cost, CD name and weight. Then come to working note 4, activity, product A, product B, product C, write material handling, whatever the activity, and write individual CDQs, put a total, write it in column 4 of the step 3, get the column 5 number, take the column 5 and multiply with CDQs and complete the amount. Do it together, that will avoid some repetitive working and it will save some time. Any doubts on this? Clear? And ultimately we calculate product A, traditional set 21, which is wrong, accurate is 25. So product A you were doing under costing earlier. Under costing will lead to underpricing. So underpricing means you will not be able to make profits. Sales will be there. Whenever I underprice any product, sales will happen, but profits will not be there. Second product, traditional set 32. The real cost is only 28. So product B, you were overpricing it earlier. Overpricing means sales will not happen because you thought cost is 32. Real cost is only 29. So you are overpricing it. One product you are underpricing, second product you are overpricing, third product again overcosting, 33 there, and here it is only 30. So overcosting is also bad, undercosting is also bad. Overcosting means you will not be able to sell the product. Undercosting means you'll be able to sell the product but profits will not be there. ABC is more accurate method of costing. Any doubts till this? Clear? Can we proceed? Question 1 is done. Now you will have to be only listen to whatever I say. Don't try to even read the question at all because reading will take time. Certain pointers I have to explain. Question 2 is exactly same as question 1, where they have given various cost and all, and they have given the driver. So what you need to do, you will have to keep noting down the cost, write the driver, get the CDQ, CDR, and for traditional method, budgeted overage will be total of all of this. Budgeted overage will be total of all the 5 costs which have been given. Earlier question they gave it directly. This question it is not given directly. When you do the traditional method, you will have to put a total individually of all the 5. Total individually of all the 5. Clear? Any doubts on this? I'm not doing it because I know if there's a discussion needed, we'll do a discussion. And maybe you can see this at home. Impact analysis, overpricing, underpricing, what happens because of that. Next is illustration number 3 of study mat. No need to open. No need to open. If there is a need, this question also doesn't need anything to be done. I will be doing, I think question number 1, something is to be done, which is done. Question 5 and question 6. These are the question where discussion will be needed. Question 3, they have given the overheads. You will have a driver given in the question, which is direct labor hours. Get the traditional method answer. When you come to ABC method, order processing, CDQ. Machine processing, CDQ. Product inspection, CDQ. You will see the answer. Answer will exactly be those 5 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. I will not deviate at all from these steps. I will not deviate from this step. You will have to just follow that. Now I come to question 5 because that needs something extra. Please keep it in mobile phone. 109. It's a September 24 exam question. Extremely tricky question. Well, not very tricky, but yeah, there is some trickiness. September 24 question, page 109 of the PDF. Go through the question first. I'll give you around 3 minutes and then I'll get into explanation mode. 3 minutes for you. Okay, I'll take you through this. It's a multi-product company. Product and cost details of P and Q are given. Multi-product company, they've given detail of 2 products. Later on, you'll understand that there are more than 2 products in the company as we proceed. PQ quantity, material cost is given directly, labor hours is given, purchase requisition, production run, quality inspection. These 3 could be some cost driver quantities. Direct wage rate is 14.5 per hour. Presently, the company uses a single overhead recovery rate. Single overhead recovery rate based on DLH. The 4 expenses are 45, 162, 27, 36. Total of the 4 will be budgeted overhead. Total of the 4 will be budgeted overhead. During this period, labor hours worked were 72,000. Labor hours worked is 72,000. Our 2 products is only 800 and 600. Our 2 products is 800 and 600, but the company has done how much? 72,000. Reason is there is a product R, S, T, U, V, W, X, all the data we don't know. So we are just focused on 2 products. So in this question, step 3 and step 4 we will not do together because I will not say step 4 total is step 3 figure. That will not work because there 3 products were there, all data was there. I said add the 3 products and write the CDQ. Write the CDQ. That adding work will not happen in this question because that will not give us the right answer. So this question you can do it separately, you can do it together, but adding will not work. You cannot add the CDQ and say that will be the CDQ of step 3. Now these are the overhead costs: technical staff salary, machine operation, machine maintenance, and wages and salary of store staff. The headache for me is activity name is quality control. They are not given quality control cost. Activity name is quality control, but they have not given quality control cost. They have given a cost called technical staff salary. They have given a cost called machine operation. They have given a cost called machine maintenance and wages and salaries of store staff. So the activity should have been technical activity, machine operation activity, machine maintenance activity. Then I can do it directly because last question 3 activities, the cost was given directly. I need cost for quality control. How will we get? We'll see. I need cost for setting up activity and I need cost for store receiving activity. All the three are not there. All the three are not there. Quality control, one of the three will be driver. Quality control. What can be the driver out of these three? Quality control. In this three, quality inspection. Setting up of machine, production, run. Store receiving is purchase requisition. Store receiving is purchase requisition. Then it says it is decided that salary of technical staff should be split, maintenance should be split, something is there, we will have to use this. During the period, cost driver for these activities are as under. This is the CDQ total of P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, all product put together. So they have given this number. Else, we normally, if we have two products and they are the final two products, we will just add 180 plus 144. That adding work will not happen in this question. Adding work will not happen in this question. So where is the difference? The difference is headache in this question is related to when you do step 3, you'll understand it. Let's start. Working note 1, computation of OAR. Computation of OAR under traditional method. Write the format and then we'll do it. Format will remain same. I don't see any change. OAR under traditional method. Budgeted overage suitable base, budgeted suitable base, and OAR. Budgeted overage suitable base, and OAR. Written. Now budgeted overage is total of all of this 45,000 plus 162 plus 27 plus 36. Total of all the four. 45, 162, 27, 36. 2,70,000. 2,70,000. 45, 162, 27, 36. What is the suitable base traditional method? Single overhead recovery rate based on what they have mentioned. Based on direct labor hours. There can be machine hours also. Both question we have seen direct labor hours. DLH. Now normally DLH will be total of P and Q. That will not work here. DLH here is 72,000. 72,000 hours. 72,000 hours. Divide and get the rate. 3.75. Next, this working note. The only change here is everything is given overall. So write this. It will be total cost, and by dividing you will get cost per unit. In this question, everything is total cost. Particulars, product P, product Q. Everything given is total. Direct material, direct labor, overhead, total cost, number of units, cost per unit. Particulars P and Q. Particulars P and Q, direct material, direct labor, overhead cost, total cost, number of units, cost per unit. Material, labor, overhead cost, total cost, number of units, cost per unit. Material cost for product P and Q is 72,000 and 50,000. Direct material cost 72,000 and 50,000. Wait, Labor cost 800 into 14.5 and 600 into 14.5. Overhead 800 into 3.75. 3.75 is what we calculated. 800 into 3.75, 600 into 3.75. Please write it. 72,000, 50,000, 800 into 14.5, 600 into 14.5, 800 into 3.75, 600 into 3.75. 11,000. Put a total. 72 plus 11, 600 plus 3,000. 86, 600. 6950. 86, 600 and 6950. Number of units is 9,000, 7,200 and get cost per unit. 9,000 and 7,200 get cost per unit. 9.62. 9.62 and the other one is 8.4647 or 4 decimal also you can do, that's okay. Any doubts in this? Clear? Now the changes are going to happen. Cost driver rate under ABC, write the format. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, CD rate. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, CD rate. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, CD rate. It is, I don't teach any new concepts in this chapter. This is the only chapter where 10 minutes and chapter is over time. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity and CD rate. The activities given in the question are quality control, right? Whatever they have given, quality control, setting up of machine, store receiving. Problem is these are not what I have cost for. Unfortunately, these costs are not available with us. And particulars, product P, product Q. I can do it separately also. And the same thing, quality control, setting up, for receiving, total overhead cost. I don't need per unit cost, you'll understand why. Total overhead cost sufficient here. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, CD rate. QC, setting up and store receiving. QC, setting up and store receiving. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. You will have to note down the various items. Come down, note. Computation of activity costs. Computation of activity costs. Particulars and three activities. Particulars. This is an extra step to be done in this question. Quality control, setting up, store receiving. Extra step in this working note. In this question, one extra step is needed. QC, setting up and store receiving. QC, setting up and store receiving. because they did not give it directly. What they have given in the question is technical staff, right? Technical staff in bracket 45,000, technical staff in bracket 45,000, machine operation in bracket 162, machine maintenance in bracket 27,000, core staff in bracket 36,000. Clear? Okay. Now, I don't like these four cost. I want the cost to be quality control, setting up, store receiving. What they gave, technical staff, machine operation, machine maintenance, store staff. They purposefully gave it like that. Now, technical staff, I'll do it in a minute. Machine maintenance and machine operation. Machine maintenance and machine operation should be distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 3, in the ratio of 2 is to 3. Machine operation and maintenance should be distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 3 between which activity? Store. Store means store receiving. Store means store receiving. Production means setting up. Production means setting up. Between stores and production setup activity. Between stores and production setup activity in the ratio of what? 2 is to 3. Whatever machine operation you have there, into 2 by 5, write it in stores. Into 3 by 5, write it in setting up. Into 2 by 5, 3 by 5 in the ratio of what? 2 is to 3. I'll come to technical staff in a minute. Into 2 by 3, 2 is to 3, 2 by 5, 3 by 5 between machine maintenance and machine operation should be distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 3 between stores and production, between stores and production. So go to your working note. Machine operation 1,62,000 into 2 by 5 and 1,62,000 into 3 by 5. 2 by 5, 3 by 5. 2 by 5 and 3 by 5. 27,000, 2 by 5, 27,000, 3 by 5. 2 by 5 and 3 by 5. Let me know the values. How much? 3 by 5, 97, 200, 64, 800, 16, 200, 10, 800. These should be the values. Technical stuff is a little tricky, so I'll take time on that. Any doubts in this? Clear? So operation is removed, maintenance is removed. Store staff, as the name indicates, put it in stores. Store staff, as the name indicates, put it in stores. As the name indicates, put it in stores. Any doubts till this? Clear? Okay, listen for 2 minutes and then you write it. Technical staff, we have incurred. Technical staff, amount incurred is, how much is the expense on technical staff? Tell me the amount for technical staff. 45,000. Now what question says is, this technical staff 45,000, technical staff 45,000, bifurcate between maintenance, setup and quality control, whatever names they say, whatever name they say, maintenance, setup. I will give you time to write quality control, maintenance, setup and quality control. In what ratio? In the ratio of 1 is to 2 is to 2. Maintenance is 45,000 into 1 by 5 into 1 by 5, 9,000. Setup is 2 by 5 and this is again 2 by 5. Clear? Now I don't like this maintenance because maintenance is not an activity. Maintenance is not an activity. This is further broken down as setting up and stores in the ratio of maintenance is distributed in the ratio of stores and production in the ratio of 2 is to 3. Stores 2, production 3. Stores 2 and production 3. Stores 2 and production 3. So what I do this is I write stores 9,000 into 2 by 5. 9,000 into 2 by 5 and setting up 9,000 into, I'll repeat this one more time. Let me first write this into 3 by 5 into 3 by 5. I'll repeat from the beginning. Overall 45,000 broken down into three activities. What are the three activities given? Maintenance, setting up, quality control. Question has told that. We bifurcated that. This will go to setting up column. This will go to quality control column. But in setting up, you please add this also. You add this also, and this we will take to stores activity. This we will take to stores activity. I'll repeat again. 45,000 bifurcated 9, 18 and 18. I do not have this activity. Maintenance you bifurcate between stores and setting up in the ratio of 2 is to 3. Between stores and setting up in the ratio of 2 is to 3. Please write this separately. Write this part separately. With this, my major discussion is over. You first write this. Maintenance, setting up, quality control. Maintenance further broken down. Setting up and quality control 2 by 5, 2 by 5. Maintenance 1 by 5. Further broken down as 2 by 5, 3 by 5. Any doubts on this? Clear? Now, what is the net implication is in the 45,000, go to quality control. Go to quality control, write 18,000. Quality control, write 18,000. Setting up, write 18,000 and another 5,400. 18,000 and another 5,400. And store receiving 3,600. Please put column wise total. Total now, total cost. All the four costs are bifurcated. Total cost. All the four costs are bifurcated. Any doubts in this? 18, 23, 400 and 36. 18, 23, 400 and 36. Set up 18 plus 5, 4, 23, 400, stores 36. Put a total. Tell me the total now. Quality control 18,000 as it is. 136, 800. Question is over. We are not going to do anything beyond this. You'll be in listen mode now. This is what I wanted to explain. This is what I wanted to explain. Beyond this, be in listen mode. Beyond this, be in listen mode. Any doubts on these? Any doubts in this? Now, whatever we have calculated here will be copy pasted as total cost. CD names are these three. CD quantity are these three. Get the CD rate. Multiply the CD rate for 180, 144, 144, 108, 27, 18. Get the total overhead cost. Get the no per unit. Why no per unit? Because in my working note 2, I will substitute this 3002,250 with the new overhead cost because overall analysis. We have done overall analysis. So we will just do that substitution. So if you see here, You have got this 18,000, 136, 800, 115, 200. After this, you divide, get the CDR, multiply the CDR, get the overhead cost, bring the overhead cost here and get the cost per unit. Bring the overhead cost here and get the cost per unit. Able to understand this extra adjustment. What is the extra adjustment we have done? How do we bifurcate the maintenance cost and how did we bifurcate the technical staff cost? They did not give the cost which we wanted. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on the concept here? Clear? You have understood this working? Let's see whether you have understood it or not. Exactly same example. This is the example. You please do the chart. Whatever chart we did, exactly same requirement. Salary of technical staff, salaries of technical staff, production stores, maintenance, production stores, setting up, something is there. You read it and then do. You have to do the chart. If you do the chart properly, you'll get to the answer. Try doing the chart, things will automatically happen. I've got the answer in live online, which is right. Ideally, I should not have done that problem. Only this MCQ is sufficient. But this MCQ is what is got tested there. I did that because if I just do MCQ, you will not get the feel of that question. Answer is 58,000. Original breakup is 50 to production, 20 to stores, and sorry, 30 to stores, 20 to maintenance. Maintenance is further broken as 8,000 to production, 10,000 to stores, 2,000 to setting up, 50 plus 8. 50 plus 8. This is what exactly that question did. This is what exactly that question did. I had to spend 20 minutes, but ideally, if clarity on concept is there, student would have got with this 58 itself. They would have got the answer with 58,000 itself. Any doubts on this? Clear? Okay. Question 6 also has something to be explained. Again, it is not a study mat question. So please see in the mobile phone. I give you around 3-4 minutes and then I explain what I wanted to do. 3-4 minutes for you. Okay, I'll take you through and then I'll explain at what stage the question deviates from our normal question. Extile Limited is a leading manufacturer textile industry. Para 1 basic background. Production machine hours per unit. They have given machine hours. Maybe the driver can be machine hours in this question. Labor hours per unit. Material cost per unit. Material cost, labor cost plus overhead cost. Currently, the company follows a traditional costing method which assigns all overhead cost on the basis of machine hours. Overhead cost is calculated at the rate of 30 per machine hour. So OAR is given to you. OAR is given to you, which is what, 30 per machine hour. Additionally, labor cost is 100 per hour. This is not overhead. Labor cost is 100 per hour. Now the company wants to implement ABC. So till now, I don't see any major challenge. The only thing is step 1. I feel as of now, OAR is directly given, but still step 1 could be needed. Why, you will understand as we proceed. Clear? Then they are saying, I want to proceed to I've done activity analysis. Batch size means 9,000 divided by 450 will give number of batches. 9,000 divided by 450 will give number of batches. Why number of batches? We don't know. 9,000 by 450, 15,000 by 1,500, 60,000 by 3,000. Number of purchase orders per batch. Number of purchase orders per batch. Store delivery. Number of inspections per batch. Number of inspections per batch. Then they are saying machine setup cost is 20% of the total cost. Whatever is the total overhead cost, machine setup is 20%. So one is machine setup, which is 20. So if 100 is the number, in that, if I take 100, setup is 20. Setup is 20. Inspection is 35. Inspection is 35. Material procurement related represent 10%. Material procurement is 10%. So material procurement 10. Then they are saying store delivery cost is also 10 and machine operation cost 25. So all put together you have given the breakup. This breakdown provides insights on how the resource have been used. For setting up, it will be number of batches. Number of batches are number of setups. For inspection, it will be number of inspections. For material procurement, it can be number of purchase orders. Material procurement is buying raw material, number of purchase orders. Store delivery, number of store delivery. Machine related cost can be number of machine hours. Everything is fine. All this is fine. What is total overhead cost? Where is it given? Where is the total overhead cost in the question? Break up, everything is fine. Where is the total overhead cost? I will bifurcate into all this, okay. Where is the information on total overhead cost? Step 1 we will do, but we will not calculate OAR. We will use the OAR and get the budgeted overhead. We will use the OAR and get the budgeted overhead. There's nothing else in the question. There's nothing else in the question. Using the OAR, you will get the budgeted overhead. So I'm going to do step 1 and step 3. I'm going to do step 1 and step 3. Step 2 I don't want to do. I don't want to waste time in step 2. Working note 1, computation of, not OAR, computation of budgeted overheads. 1, computation of budgeted overheads. Computation of budgeted overheads. Our usual format: budgeted overheads, suitable base, budgeted suitable base, OAR. Budgeted overhead, suitable base, budgeted suitable base, and OAR. An excellent question, but what was tested is very unique because students would keep searching for budgeted overhead. It's a reverse working question. Budgeted overhead, suitable base, budgeted suitable base, and OAR. First write OAR. OAR is 30 per machine hour. OAR is 30 per machine hour. 30 per machine hour. Budgeted suitable basis, we'll do the multiplication. Hand towels 9,000 into machine hours. Machine hours the base. 9,000 into 10 machine hours. 9,000 into 10, 15,000 into 18, and 60,000 into 14. 9,000 into 10, 15,000 into 18, 60,000 into 14. 12 lakh. Suitable base machine hours, and reverse working budgeted overheads is 30 into 12 lakh. 30 into 12 lakh. Any doubts on this? In the reverse order, we had to do this. In the reverse order, we had to do this, and using 30 and 12 lakh, we have got budgeted overheads figure. Any doubts in this? 3 crore 60 lakh. Budgeted overheads 3 crore 60 lakh rupees. Any doubts in this? Working note 2. Working note 2. Computation of CDR under ABC. CDR under ABC. Activity, total cost driver name, cost driver quantity, cost driver rate. Activity, total cost, CD name, CD quantity, and CD rate. Leave some 6 lines. I will do the other step. I think together it is better because CDQ is little tricky here. Working note 3. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. Total 7 columns. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. Overheads under ABC. Activity, total cost driver name, cost driver quantity, and cost driver rate, and apportionment of overheads under ABC. Apportionment of overheads under ABC. Clear? The 5 activities given in the question, let's write them. They have given some breakup. Setting up in bracket 20% of the cost. Second, they have mentioned inspection 35% of the cost. Procurement 10% of the cost. Then they have said for delivery 10% of the cost, and machine operation 25% of the cost. 20, 25, 10, 10, 25. 20, 35, 20, 35, 10, 10, and 25. Any doubts on this? Let's bifurcate that 3 crore 60 lakh. 3 crore 60 lakh. 20% is 72 lakh. Tell me how much is 35%? 35% is how much? 1 crore 26 lakh. We have done the bifurcation. Clear? There are only 3 products, so I will add up the individual CDQ and copy paste there. 3 products, CDQ total will go there. Write all the 5 activities in the next working note also. Write the 5 activities name in the next working note. Setting up, inspection, procurement, store delivery, machine. We'll go item by item. Clear? Can we? Setting up is on number of batches. Why number of batches is every time you batch you have to do a setting up. Number of batches. Number of batches. And now come here. The names are not product ABC. The names are hand towels, kitchen towels, and gym towels. Whatever HT, KT, and GT. Number of batches. Listen. Batch size, if they give you batch size, you divide by the batch size, you'll get the number of batches. Divide by the batch size, overall units by the batch size. So here 9,000 divide by 450, right? 20 batches. 9,000 by 450, 9,000 by 450, then 15,000 by 1,500, 10, 60,000 by 3,000, 20, 10, and 20. 9,000 by 450, 15,000 by 1,500, 60,000 by 3,000. Clear? Adds up. I write here 50. I don't need CDR multiplication, all that I don't want. I just want to do CDQ. I just want to do CDQ. Division, multiplication, calculator work we don't want to do now. Okay. 50. Any doubts on this? Any doubts on the 50? Inspection, what can be the driver according to you in the question? Look at the data. What can be the driver for inspection? Number of inspections. They have given per batch. First, write number of inspections. Write number of inspections. Number of inspections. And come down. First product 20 into 5. 20 into 5. First product 20 inspections into 5 inspections per batch. 20 into 5. 10 into 4 and 20 into 3. 20 into 5, 10 into 4, 20 into 3. I don't want the other things, okay? 200. Clear? It is per batch given. If they are given per unit, I would have multiplied with units. They have given per batch. Procurement is on the basis of purchase order. Procurement is related to purchase of material, purchase order. Again, they have given per batch, we'll do the multiplication. Procurement, number of purchase order. Number of purchase orders. Number of purchase orders. We come back here, do the multiplication. 20 into 3, 3 purchase order per batch. 10 into 10 and 20 into 8. 3, 10 and 8. Tell me the total. How much? 320. Beyond step I'm not doing because I don't want to do CDR rate because you will divide, do multiplication, all that is okay. Store delivery they've given directly. Number of delivery given directly in the question. Number of delivery, number of delivery, number of delivery 45, 80, 125. Just normal total, that's all. 45, 80 and 125. Direct, they have not given per unit, per batch, nothing is given there. How much is the total? 250. I'm not doing the machine part. Machine part is machine hours. Individually, we have to write it and then put a total. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? So the tricky part was how to get first budgeted overheads. How to get the budgeted overheads. They made it as a reverse working. They made it as a reverse working. After you find that, you have to do the bifurcation and do the calculation like this: 50, 200, 320, 250, 12 lakh. Do the bifurcation, get the overhead cost per unit, and then repeat it. Clear? Any doubts on this? Any doubts on this? 7, I don't see any extra adjustments. Exactly same reverse working. This is also reverse working. I felt the earlier question was more tricky. That's why I did that. Now, all this, I don't want you to even do much of it. Sometimes the question will ask for cost of unused capacity. Cost of unused capacity. Be in listen mode. Nothing much for you to listen. Nothing much for you to do. Cost of unused capacity. Now I have totally 50,000 kilowatt hours, but the three products have used only 10 plus 20 plus 15. Don't even read the question. Just listen what I'm saying. That's all. Later on, you want to see the question, see it. Okay. Unused capacity means out of the 50,000 kilowatt hours, we have used only 30. Sorry, we have used only 45. 5,000 is wasted. 5,000 into 4 rupees per kWh. Otherwise, everything is the same. 2 lakh activity, total cost, cost driver name, cost driver quantity, cost driver rate. And there is some unused capacity. There is some unused capacity. Clear? Any doubts on this? Okay. This question, I would want you to do it at home. Do this question because this keeps coming. TYK question number 2. This is same as activity based costing only, same as our earlier scenario, but here you are not going to calculate cost per unit. Here you are going to calculate profit margin. You're going to calculate profit margin. Steps will remain same: activity, total cost, cost driver name, cost driver quantity, cost driver rate, everything will remain same. Traditional method, you may distribute overheads Here it is called store support cost using some other basis. For example, here when I do ABC, this is activity, this is total cost, this is cost driver name, and this is cost driver quantity. And then you have to absorb the overheads. When you do at home, you'll understand. This question, if I do now, it will take 30 minutes. I don't want to spend time. I don't want to spend time on this. You do this at home later on. This is one variant I would want you to do. One variant I would want you to do at home so that you are clear on how to do profit statement. Profit statement part, you have to be clear. This are the this question and the next question also you can attempt. Both are similar. Whether you do 10 or not, but 9, please do it. Question number 9, which is your study mat question number illustrate. Yeah, test your knowledge question number 2 and test your college knowledge question number 3. If these two you do, I think this chapter is over with this. The chapter is over, but I still need to do few things. From a descriptive question point of view, everything is over, but still some concepts here and there are missing. Get me answer to this. This is similar to that reverse working question we did. The last question we did. Read it and then get me answer to this. Read it and get the answer to this. Or you read the question, I'll take you through. I'll take you through. I think it needs a little bit more explanation. Just read it once. Okay, now listen. OARS, last question 30 per machine hour was given. Machine hours, I had told you to do calculation directly given in MCQ because I only created this MCQ. I gave it directly. Multiplication of these two is budgeted over it. Multiplication of these two is budgeted over it, right? Example of page, these are very tricky examples, some of them. Page, example of page 45, budgeted overhead is equal to, budgeted overhead is equal to 2000 into 100, 2 lakh. 2000 into 100, 2 lakh. In this, cost related to, break it into 3 4. First is setup, second is inspection, third is machinery, and fourth is material handling. 4 costs are there: setup, inspection, machinery, material handling. Now let's read the word and you will understand. It says cost relating to setup and inspection bear the equal percentage. Equal is okay. What percentage they did not say. Cost related to setup and inspection. Setup is separate, inspection is separate, bear equal percentage. How much we don't know. Machinery accounts for what percentage? So machinery is 20. Machinery is 20%. Machinery is 20%. Material handling how much? Read it carefully. Material handling how much? Read it carefully. 50% of 50% of machinery cost. Machinery is 20. So material handling is 10 then. Material handling is 10. It says 50% of cost relating to the machinery, not overall cost. 50% of cost relating to the machinery, cost relating to the machinery. So this will be 10. Balance is 70. In this 35 setup, 35 inspection, 35 setup, and this has come in exam. I have not created this MCQ. It was part of a bigger question. The one which I did was relatively easier. I thought it will have that adjustment, but it didn't have that adjustment. So they gave exactly same words. They said machining is 20, material handling is 50% of 20, balance is 70, 35%, 35%. So setup is 35% of 2 lakh, 35% of 2 lakh. Any doubts in this? Any doubts on this example here? Clear? Can we proceed? Get me the answer to this. This is simple. This is simple. I've just now explained it also. You should be able to do. Live online guys, participate. This is simpler example. How much? First, I have to calculate number of batches. 12,000 by 200 is the number of batches. 60,000 by 60 is the CDR. 60,000 divided by 60. 60,000 divided by 60. Okay, this I think got repeated. The same example got repeated. Give me the answer to this. This is also simpler only. How much? Yeah. Under traditional method, reverse working, 6 into 5 lakh. 30 lakh is the total overhead. 20% is inspection, which is 6 lakh divided by 1 lakh. 6 lakh divided by 1 lakh. Yeah, this nothing much is there. You can do this at home if you want later on. Some of these MCQs you can do it if you want to do at home. No new testing. This is one new testing. Company produced 1000 units of material A, 2000 units of material B. Raw material requirement for material A and B is as under: oil, butter, water. Oil is needed, butter is needed, water is needed. Mass of 1 liter of oil and filtered water is equivalent to 0.80 kg and 1 kg respectively. What is the overall weight in kg of raw material for both the products? I'll explain why I created this question. Now, the first question we solved today, and this question which you see is almost the same. They gave three costs: spoke lifting, supervising utility, weight of metal lifted, direct labor hours, machine operation. This is the first question. The only thing is they gave the raw material as oil, butter, water, chemical, all that they gave. And for calculating weight, how do I add oil which is in ml and butter which is in grams? Oil is in ml, butter is in grams. I have to add them, but I have to add them. I have to add oil which is in ml, butter which is in grams, water which is in ml, chemical which is in grams. Add everything. First question we did 4 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. Directly we multiplied. First question today we did exactly same question, only this is just that they changed extra information. They added extra information. Now I want to know what is the total raw material used. Why do we need this? It would have been for this purpose. If at all I go back to the first question we did, you will have to add all of this and get this 38,800 weight of material lifted. Weight of material lifted in the first question. Same way, I want to add the weight for raw material A, weight for material A product and material B product. There it was one raw material directly done. First oil is in ml. Second, butter is in grams. Water is in ml. If everything was in grams, just add the three and we are done. But some are in ml, some are in grams. How do we add them? For that they are saying 1 liter of oil, 1 liter of oil and filtered water, 1 liter of oil and filtered water is equivalent to 0.80 kg and 1 kg respectively. So listen, oil is not 100 ml and 200 ml. 1 liter of oil is equal to 0.8 kg. 1 liter of oil is equal to 0.8 kg. Nothing for you to do. 1 liter of oil is equal to 0.8 kg. So it's not 100 ml. It is 80 gram. 80 gram. 1 liter is equal to 0.8. 1 liter is equal to 0.8. So 100 ml is 80 grams. 100 ml is 80 grams. And 200 ml is 160 gram. 200 ml is 160 gram. I'll repeat again. It says mass of 1 liter of essential oil and filtered water is equivalent to 0.80 kg and 1 kg respectively. 0.80 kg and 1 kg respectively. So oil I have converted, butter is already in grams, water 200 ml is 200 gram itself, because 1 liter is equal to 1 kg. For water 1 liter is equal to 1 kg. For water 1 liter is equal to 1 kg. 80 gram plus 50 gram plus 200 gram is material A. 80 plus 50. Why 80 not 100 ml? 80 gram plus 50 gram plus 200 gram. 80 gram plus 50 gram plus 200. 330 gram is the weight of material A. First question you did, they directly gave 4 kg. But here, such a roundabout calculation was to be done. 330 gram. How 330 gram? Oil 100 ml became 80. 100 ml became 80 gram. Butter as it is. Filtered water ml and gram both are same. Filtered water ml and gram both are same. Clear? Able to understand this? Like this you will do material B, multiply, put a total. Multiply and then put a total. You want to practice these MCQs, practice it. You want to do the detailed question, you do it. This MCQ I've already discussed. Other MCQs are fairly simple. You can practice some of these MCQs if you want. Just practice these MCQs. More or less, the trickier MCQs I've discussed, and we have discussed 2-3 questions. Clear? With this, my activity-based costing chapter is over. Exam 10-mark question will mostly be coming. Will mostly be coming for 10 marks in exam. We'll take a break of 15 minutes. I resume again at 3:30 with one of the chapter. I'll decide the chapter in the break. We'll start at 3:30.